Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital of Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Rob. And today we got two mailbag questions for you. One of them was left in the comment section of one of our videos, and the other one was sent to us in our email address. And they're actually covering two different topics, one boxing, one mixed martial arts. So we got a little variety for you guys today. The first question comes from Karsten, and he wants to know, in a round robin tournament type of format, who do we have winning between Shumenov, Hopkins, Kovalev, and Stevenson? That was a very interesting question, so we decided to make a video about it. Start us off, Rob.
Okay, so you're seeing two of our candidates for Fighter of the Year in Kovalev and Stevenson. We know what these guys can do. Knock you out. And not only to knock you out, but their styles are different, but the results are the same. Kovalev, the harder puncher, very systematic, actually very sharp. I'm very surprised about his sharpness. And Adonis Stevenson, who is constantly learning and constantly adapting to his opponents and taking from what he learns in the gym and placing it in action. Kovalev is the more devastating puncher, and he gets you out of there early, while Stevenson, who can get you out of there earlier, takes a little bit longer to get you out of there. But he is more athletic. I think he's going to have, out of the four, the faster hands. You got Baby Shumenov, who doesn't have a lot of fights, but he's a volume puncher. Very awkward style, very awkward rhythm, but aside from his last fight, he normally throws about 100 punches per round. Not normally fast, but they're coming in bunches. And of course, we got Old Man B-Hop, or as he likes to be known as now, the Alien. The guy is a technical assassin. I mean, defense, strategy, taking your strength and making it your weakness, and taking your weakness and making it even greater weakness. That's what this guy does. It's kind of hard to bet against B-Hop. I mean, because he's seen it all, he's done it all, and he stays in phenomenal shape. There is no unnecessary cutting. He studies, and he's an ornery old man, so his pride is going to be there.
Yeah, and for a man that's damn near 50, being in shape all year round is not an easy task. And for him to do it takes an extreme amount of dedication. So with that being said, we're going to talk about the two pairings. The two, they're already being made, one between Stevenson and Kovalev, two between Shumenov and Hopkins. We've already kind of gone over Stevenson and Kovalev. We feel right now that Kovalev is the more technically sound fighter. He's probably the harder hitting fighter, and we think that he would come out on top versus Kovalev. But the way Stevenson learns and adapts in the ring, by the time they fight, he's probably going to be a better fighter than what we saw all of last year. So he still has a chance. I think Kovalev is a more two-handed puncher over Stevenson, because I haven't really seen Stevenson really hurt anybody with his right hand.
No.
So he's basically just with the thunderous left hand, which is a hell of a weapon to have. But I think with Kovalev having more weapons, more technical skill, and seeming to be the tougher of the two, I would take Kovalev in that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to take Kovalev early. Now, if Adonis Stevenson, and this is just my opinion, can turn Kovalev and hit him from angles that Kovalev does not see, and kind of doesn't allow himself to get walked down, because in his last fight, I kind of see him taking some unnecessary punishment. And not that the guy was a scrub, it's just Tony Bellew's not a scrub, it's just
he's not on the level of Kovalev.
Not at all.
Right.
So I would have to take Kovalev early. If it can be extended, I go with Stevenson.
Yeah.
Now the next fight, Shumenov versus B-Hop, is interesting because B-Hop finds a way to handcuff you. I mean, he's an old school gritty fighter. He's going to hit you in places that are barely legal. He's got that dome piece, and he'll lock you up and then hit you with those sneaky punches on the inside as well. He has a great lead right hand.
Yeah, that bad boy is like a laser.
But Shumanov, who shows some good technical skill and has that awkward rhythm, is going to have to try to overwhelm B-Hop, and I'm just not sure how well B-Hop's going to cope with that many punches unless he can discourage him early.
Yeah, B-Hop did real well in his last fight against a man whose name I cannot remember right now. What was that guy's name? God. It was a great fight too. I mean, B-Hop was out there trying to actually get the stoppage against him, and both guys threw a lot of punches, but of course B-Hop was B-Hop, and it, turned out to end up being like a technical beatdown. But you gotta watch out for Shumanov. I think he's got some underrated strength that might get B-Hop off guard. He's got the same build as Golovkin, as Provodnikov, as the Klitschko brothers, like that big, solid, dense frame that you see coming out of a lot of those Eastern European guys. And they're all very physically strong and also very deceptively powerful. Like they have that very powerful look. Like they just carry around cows all day.
That's right.
On a farm somewhere and just eat raw meat like Provodnikov does.
Yeah.
So Shumanov will make it interesting. But because I haven't seen enough of him, I think I've only seen him fight like 3 times, and I like what I see out of him. I just don't like what I see enough for it to overcome B-Hop. So that brings us to Kovalev versus Hopkins. Now, 9 times out of 10, we're probably not going to see this fight. Kovalev is on a strict, he's on HBO. That's being right. Showcased by them. Hopkins being showcased by Showtime. But guys can dream. So this is all speculation. Now, we've said Kovalev is very technically sound, hits very hard with either hand, has deceptive footwork. He thinks a little bit in there, you can see that.
And he's nasty.
Yes, he is very nasty. But he's in there with the nastiest. The most technical, the most cerebral man in Bernard Hopkins. This would be a very, very ugly fight. Real close to an MMA match. I mean, they're going to be grappling, headlocks, low blows. They might even throw some knees in there. But in the end, I'm going to have to rock with Hopkins.
I got to take Hopkins in a very controversial split decision. Because I think Kovalev is going to bring that pressure that gives the assumption of aggressiveness and control of the fight. And B-Hop is kind of... He's methodical. If he was a kung fu master, he would be Pai Mei from freaking
Kill Bill.
From Kill Bill. Yeah, you can try. It may look like you're doing something, but all of a sudden he grabs your pinky and you're going down. So it's gonna be ugly. It will be close and it will be dirty.
Yeah, and I can see where he's going with the split decision because Kovalev will definitely land the harder shots. He's gonna land those shots. People be like, "Oh, whoa, what a punch!" But B-Hop might hit him with like 3 sneaky ones. He'd be like, "Wait a minute, I was getting hit just now." The next thing you know, Kovalev's face is all busted up. You're like, "How's he getting busted up? What's going on here?" Hopkins, man, that's what he does. That's what he does.
So that's the first question of our mailbag. Now we're gonna move on to the next one, which is Ryan Scales, if I'm not mistaken,
who's actually designing our logo. Thanks a lot, buddy.
His question was if Brock Lesnar and Randy Couture fought in their prime, who would win? Now, if you remember, Randy Couture was Brock's second fight or third?
I think it's his 3rd fight in the UFC.
Yeah, I think it's his 3rd fight in the UFC. Now, we all know what happened. Randy Couture actually showed he must be a lot stronger than we think, because he probably was outweighed by about 40 or 50 pounds and was still able to rough up Brock Lesnar. But Brock Lesnar's sheer size and power
he caught him once, got on top of him, and once Brock Lesnar gets on top of you, you can't stop it. I call him a prison rapist, because he will get on you and he's going to do some terrible things to you.
Now,
sorry to put that mental picture in your head, but that's just how it goes down with Brock Lesnar.
And let's just realize that Brock Lesnar spent his prime years in the WWE. And Randy Couture, let's face it, his prime years, he was maybe a 600 fighter, maybe. His win and loss ratio is at 500, closer to 500. Yeah. It's not as, he's a legend, but it's not as like he's 30-2 or 30-3.
Yeah. My opinion is, like, based on sheer size alone, if you get both of these guys in their prime, Brock Lesnar is still bigger. He's still faster. He's still stronger. He's still more powerful. They're both very good wrestlers. Brock Lesnar is a multiple-time national champion. Randy Couture was a big Greco-Roman wrestler. I want to say he was Olympic level, but
I believe he was.
I can't recall at the moment. But I know he's a multiple-time UFC champion. But at the same time, like, even if you get him younger, he was actually a little bit smaller than he was when he fought Brock.
Because didn't he fight at 205 at one point as well?
Yeah, he fought at 205. Brock Lesnar's always been a heavyweight.
And it's funny, and let's take into account that when he was with WWE, which we used to watch a lot of, he was actually huge. Like, he was around 300 pounds of muscle, which means he lost that muscle to 260, which is the weigh-in weight limit for UFC as a heavyweight. Not a lot of people know that. So when you get down to 260, that is 40 pounds of muscle that you have to lose. I don't care what anyone said, that takes a toll on you. Yeah. I think he beats Randy Couture in the first round. If it goes to the second, maybe the first half of the second, the only way I can think of is Randy Couture can extend him to the third round, he'll have a chance.
And
we're talking about a younger Brock Lesnar, so that's not even a given.
Yeah, like, I think because he's younger, he's going to have a better motor. He's going to be stronger. That weight cut's not going to be a problem if he's in his early 20s. It's going to get ugly. Now, because Couture is very good, he will extend him. I think it will go to the second round. But once Brock gets on top of him, it is slowly going to be over.
So that's all we got for you today. Check out our videos. We're still our YouTube channel. Go to Facebook, CapitalofCombat. Hit us up at Gmail, CapitalofCombat@gmail.com. Google+. Hit us up. Send us a message. We talk about the fights all the time: MMA, kickboxing, boxing, random stuff that's actually going on in the world. Negotiations, new deals, upcoming fights.
Yep. Comment below. Let us know what you think about what we talked about today. If you got a question, hit us up in the comment section or any of the places Rob told you before: Facebook, Google+, email, and we'll answer your question as well. So, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and gone. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.